Welcome, everyone. And I'm so excited to have Manraj and Krizan in the room. And thank you for making time for this webinar despite your busy schedules. I know that Krizan also had a shoot. You also had a shoot, Manraj, but you finally made it to this webinar. And I have been waiting for a long time to call you guys and speak to you and let these people know about your experiences of the training and the amazing work that you're doing outside in the industry, performing lots of stuff. And I'm so excited to hear your story because I think this is the first time that we will be interacting at length about your journeys, after you graduated from the school. So it's really interesting. And welcome to all the participants who have joined in today for the session. So I'm sure you are as excited as I am, and you'll be happy to know about their work and their journey. And yeah, so this is going to be a fun session. I have my very able, very talented alumni, Prabhuti Desai, in the room today, who's going to moderate this entire session. So, Prabhuti, thank you and welcome. Thank you for doing this for us today. And everyone in the room, participants, if you have any questions for the panelists, you can just put them down in the chat box and we will take them as the conversation progresses. We also have a 20-minute Q&A session towards the end. So we will take your questions during that time also. So if you have any questions while the conversation is happening, just put them down in the chat box. And feel free to speak in Hindi, English, whatever language you're comfortable in. So there's no pressure, okay? So Prabhuti, the room is all yours.
Yeah, thank you, Shruti. Okay, hello everyone and good evening. I welcome all the participants and our panelists, our esteemed alumni of Drama School Mumbai. They'll be sharing their stories, experiences, and their journey with DSM. I will quickly introduce them. So we have Manraj Singh from the very first batch of Drama School Mumbai. We have seen him in various TV and web series like Bade Achhe Lagte Hain, Romilan Jugal, Pyar Tune Kya Kiya, Kayamat Ki Raat, and so on. We also have Krizan Pereira from the fourth batch. She's not only an actor but also a trained dancer and a model. We saw her in web series like Modern Love, Thinkistan, and some big banner films like Batla House, Tarak 2, Tryst with Destiny. We have Lakshmi Singh Saran, who is not here at the moment, but he'll join us soon. He is squeezing out some time and from his shoot and will join us. I'll introduce him quickly. So, his upcoming web series, The Fame Game, which will be released soon on Netflix, in which he'll be seen alongside Madhuri Dixit, Sanjay Kapoor, and Manav Kaul. Wow. Apart from that, we have seen him in Unpaused, Milestone, and yeah, so on. So, without further ado, I will ask the question to these panelists, which I already have. And in last 20 minutes, I'll open the room for question answer. So let's start the conversation. I will begin with you, Manraj. You have extensive experience working in the television industry. So when the OTT platforms were slowly growing popularity in India, you worked with Alt Balaji's Romilan Jugal. How did you decide that you wanted to start your career in entertainment industry? How did you make your way to DSM? Can you tell your story? Manraj, you are on mute.
He needs to be unmuted or added to
Muting myself.
Oh.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, hi.
So my journey in DSM started from Bangalore itself. I was working for a retail brand at that time, a luxury retail brand, and I was doing sales and marketing for them. And I had no idea that I will be joining this industry by then. And while doing the job in the process, I was introduced to theater in Bangalore, which was run by Saad Khan and Sid. So they both were the mentors for it, and they started doing workshops. I was like more keen to do workshops. So on a Saturday, Sunday, I used to take them off and go for my workshops. Okay, and I think my manager was pretty keen. So I used to be like, so we used to get a weekly off when you work from Monday to Friday. You get one day off, right? So I used to divide my off. I used to not take my offs for a month or two. I should divide my off on Saturday, Sunday. I should do half day, and I used to go for my workshops for training. So that's how it started. And in that process of doing workshops, I realized I want to do this full-fledgedly. Bangalore is not the space right now where to do. and I was looking for drama schools to attend. And in between, I figured it out. There is, I'm not going to say the names, which I was trying to figure it out, like where I would join. And I started speaking with all those alumni on Facebook, and I was like, is it a good place to join? They were like, no, please don't join this, that. So I was like, what do I do? How do I go to Bombay without any proper training? Like, I didn't want to just come and audition here. I was like, what? And by then, Sid, who was my mentor in who was handling center stage, he told me there's a school which is getting open in 2013. It was like the new school with by drama. It's drama school, and should check out the link. And it's run by Jehan, and I didn't know Jehan by then. So I started reading about the whole alumni and all the teachers involved. I'm like, great, this is a good space to start with. I applied for this so I had not mentioned my workplace that I'm going to Bombay for this interview. What they had a really intensive interview, Jehan had planned. Like, and we had like a 3 days. We had to come to Bombay and stay. And every day it will be like a rapid fire round where you will be told that you are not selected, so you can't. So those 3 days you had to wait in Bombay. And I have told my work that I'm sick and I've just come to Bombay. I'm facing this interview. And once the interview was over, after 3 weeks, they told us that by mail, Preeti will inform us. I'm like, okay, great. Let's go back to Bangalore. I was just hoping that I will get this opportunity. I get a mail saying you're part of drama school. You should be coming by July 1st at to start. And I'm like, I didn't even serve notice period for my work. I just told my manager that I'm leaving. The next day, I have packed my bags and I've left to Bombay. That's how I've come to drama school. Oh, Jehan has some good stories. The way I was late the first day. Okay, I was late for Angikam and my yoga, and like a fool, I have come to Bombay in July. I am wearing a white shirt and a blue jeans, and it's a rainy day in Bombay. I'm completely soaked in rain. I didn't find the place on Churning Road. I'm completely soaked. It's completely wet. I'm drenched. It's like all brown spots all over my white shirt. I've come, and Jehan doesn't allow me to enter inside. He's like, you'll stand outside. And for an hour in the same clothes, I'm standing outside. He did this. And that's how my introduction to DSM started. I'm like, Manraj, you have come here. This is going to be extensive training. You cannot fool around. So yeah, from then I was on time.
Yeah, that's very cool, interesting, and inspiring.
Yeah.
And so, guys, isn't it interesting that Manraj, who is working right now alongside Nakul Mehta, who
yes.
also did DSM workshops. So, do you guys have something common to chat about DSM? Like
I didn't know that. Nakul was part of this. So Jehan did mention to me that Nakul was a part of the workshops he used to do. The theatre professionals used to do this 3 days workshop. So where Kalki and everyone had attended it. And that's how I knew. I didn't know Nakul was part of it. And as soon as I was part of the show, I met him on set. I'm like, bro, do you know Jehan? And they were like, yeah, of course, man. And even I was part of this. I'm like, great. I did an extensive training. He's like, they had a 1 year this thing. I said, yeah, they had a 1 year program. So that would have been great. I said, yeah. Then we started discussing about Prabhat, about Shankar. I was like, yeah, he was there and how he is to train us. And I don't know whether other kids have been part of Prabhat and Shankar. I think they all should. And even Geetu ma'am and Yuki. And oh my God, I love the way they. I'm going to say more like in conversation that how much I have enjoyed working with all these guys. So yeah, Nakul, it was, and I would say Nakul is also very keen on this part. Like theater professionals has given him this whole idea of he understands. The workshops. He understands the whole cold reading. He understands what to do as an actor. And it comes from the space of theater also, which is really refreshing to see an actor do on set. So it's great to perform with him because of this. So we had a lot of common things to talk about for sure regarding acting.
That's great. Okay, now I will move to Krizan. I have a question. Like before joining drama school, you trained with Shamas Dawar Institute for more than 5 years. So, what did inspire you to become an actor, or how did you decide that you want to take acting career? Was it always a plan, or did you want to do both acting and dance?
So what I really love about the entire thing is that my story is the exact opposite story of Manraj's. I think, and I'm sure a lot of actors feel this. I think when I was born, I just knew that I wanted to be an actor. But I didn't know where to go, what to do. And I was just good at dancing. So ऐसे होते होते I just began dancing, and Shamak happened, and I used to do like Rahil Padam C and all of these things. And in fact, as I remember, I gave my board exams on a Friday, my last board exam for my HSC on a Friday, and the audition for DSM was on Monday. So I have literally just popped out of college. I haven't even graduated, don't know whether I've passed or not, and I've gone and auditioned for DSM. Actually, I got to know from Chirag Lobo via some friend went to watch the DSM last Adhyaan presentation, and then that's how I got to know about it. But yeah, I always knew that I wanted to be an actor, and I was questioning doing like a 1 year course, because I have been in a dance company before, and I found that it was it kind of limits you in a way. So for me, it was a question about whether this school would be the right thing for me to do. But I actually found the exact opposite that I found in my dance school, in my acting school. So I am really glad about that. And I always knew that I needed to train, because if you look at other people from my batch, a lot of them had done theater before. They did it in college. I mean, even I did it in college, but it wasn't at that level of like you don't understand the roots of it. So for me, I began from scratch. From scratch, I would say DSM day one was my day one as an actor. Even though I'd auditioned before that, and I'd sucked at my auditions, and I did some theater before that, and yeah, I was dancing, and I had the confidence to be a dancer, but nothing in the acting department.
Yeah. Okay. So DSM helped you to becoming an actor.
Definitely,
DSM helped us all. Like
yeah,
all of us.
yeah.
Yeah, we're sitting here because of that.
Yeah, it works differently for people who know something, and it works differently for people who have to unlearn what they know, or grow over what they know, or for someone like me who just jumped out of college and was all like really young and just jumping around and into a school like this. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess Lakshmi is here. Lakshmi, can you just switch on your camera so we all can see you?
Yeah, hi. Can you hear
Hi,
me?
Lakshmi.
Hi, Lakshmi.
Hi.
Thank you for making it. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so
She's
sorry,
here.
first of all, that I cannot be there for the whole hour and everything else. I'm really sorry.
It's
It has
fine.
been
It's
a
fine.
very, very hectic day.
Guys, he's here for
Uh,
10-15 minutes. Prabhuti, ask all the questions you have
Yeah.
from Lakshmi right now.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so I've already introduced you to the participants, so I'll directly go to the questions. So, Lakshmi, you were already working in theater before joining drama school, and you were also a part of your college theater group. You also worked with Third Space Collective. So, summing up, you had quite a lot of experience in theater before joining drama school. So, how the training was different, or how DSM helped you or added something which you already knew before to your experience?
Yeah, I think, of course, the acting bit was already something that I was aware of, at least in terms of the basic knowledge of acting I had before jumping into DSM. But still, the first few months, you revisit those basics, and whenever there are new energies in the room, it's a new experience anyway. So you're always learning. There's no doubt about that. But for me, DSM was majorly for direction and creation. I think that was very important. The idea of creating a play or directing one, I think that is something that DSM only taught me, and I didn't know much about it before DSM. Sorry, I don't know about my signal and everything, so I hope I'm audible and everything
Yeah,
else.
yeah, yes, you are audible.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's very important for all those people that are listening to have a very clear idea of why do you want to join DSM? What are your goals? So, because the course is going to be very extensive, it's going to be very uh, broad, and you'll have to figure your own things, what benefits you and what you want, and you're going to have to find what you connect with most, and then probably pursue that in the future, because it is a kind of, I mean, it's a course that is not over 4 or 5 years. So you have to come in with everything that you've got and with all of your senses, and be very ready to to experience everything and then find out what works for you.
Yeah. Okay. And so we all know that it's not easy to get work, and there is always some struggle, and there are barriers like personal barriers, social barriers, and we all have all kind of pressure. And you also worked on screens. So did you feel any pressure, or did you have any barriers that you had to overcome to be in films, or which?
No, I think there is a general sentiment that work is very difficult. It's very difficult to get projects or to find work, but I don't primarily agree with it. I think if you work on your craft and if you find your way of doing things and be diligent towards it, I think there's so much work happening that eventually the problem that you may have is the problem of choices. कि ये करना चाहिए, ये नहीं करना चाहिए, वो एक प्रॉब्लम है, वो डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा. बट अगर आप डीएसएम ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं एक इंस्टीट्यूट, तो आपको ट्रेन करेगा, ये ट्रेनिंग आपसे कोई नहीं छीन सकता. और एक बार ये ट्रेनिंग हाथ में आ जाए तो certain amount of confidence also comes, and then automatically things start, working out for themselves. So I don't think anyone needs to be very nervous, because if this is such a world now, if you don't have respect and confidence in your own self, it will eat you up. You have to have a belief in your own craft, and that will come by honing it more and more. So you really need to keep working towards it, and at the end of the day it is about the work. अगर ऑडिशन अच्छा है तो आगे सिलेक्शन होगा, सिलेक्शन हुआ, काम अच्छा है तो और काम मिलेगा. It's all about what you do. So yeah, and no one can take away your talent from you. If you have it and if you worked hard for it, it's yours. So yeah.
Yeah, and how do you think कि formal training important है, और ड्रामा स्कूल की ऐसी कौन सी बात है जो आपके साथ हमेशा that is still has stayed with you, और वो formal training का importance, और ये एक बात कि ऐसी क्या है जो हमेशा आपके साथ रही है ड्रामा स्कूल की?
So मैं हिंदी में शिफ्ट करूंगा because I just realized I gave the first two answers in English, and I think some people might also be comfortable in Hindi. मेरे हिसाब से ड्रामा स्कूल क्या करता है ना, एक प्लेटर पकड़ा देता है जिसमें 25 तरह की अलग अलग चीजें हैं. तो आपको एक ऑप्शंस मिल जाते हैं, आपको बहुत सारे, कि आप क्या किस में आप अच्छे हैं, क्या आपके लिए वर्क कर रहा है, क्या नहीं कर रहा है. तो ट्रेनिंग वहां पर बहुत जरूरी हो जाती है. इट्स नॉट अबाउट व्हाट यू नो बट ऑल्सो अबाउट व्हाट यू डोंट. वो भी रिकॉग्नाइज करना बहुत जरूरी है. तो ट्रेनिंग के बिना वो नहीं हो सकता, बिकॉज ट्रेनिंग आपको डायरेक्टली इट विल हेल्प यू गेट टू नो योरसेल्फ एज एन आर्टिस्ट अ लिटिल बेटर. और कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि हम सबकी लाइफ में इंस्टेंसेस होते हैं. जैसे मेरा हुआ था कि एक नाटक मैंने करा लाइफ में बहुत जब मैं यंग था, और समथिंग वर्कड आउट एंड आई गॉट अट्रैक्टेड टू द आइडिया ऑफ डूइंग इट. तो मुझे लगा कि अब मुझे और ये करना चाहिए, पर वो तुक्का था एक तरीके से. अगर एक नाटक वर्क कर गया, मैंने एक अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस दे दी, वो मुझे लगता है एक तुक्का था. और जब ट्रेनिंग हुई तो मुझे समझ आया कि मैंने वो करा कैसे. वो समझ बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि अब हमेशा तुक्के की उम्मीद में इंसान नहीं जी सकता ना. आपको पता होना चाहिए हर एक चीज आप कैसे करेंगे. तो उसके लिए बहुत जरूरी है एक स्कूल. एंड फॉर श्योर देन ड्रामा स्कूल was what came into my life, and thank God, because today I'm struggling to get some time off. So I'm very happy about that.
Okay, thank you. That was very insightful. I would like to ask the same question to Manraj. Ki, what is the importance of formal training in acting, and what is something like magic mantra that has stayed with you from drama school learning? जैसे कि हम ड्रामा स्कूल में हमेशा जेहान always says this कि trust the process, surrender to the process. So something like that, some magic mantra. Manraj, you are on mute, I guess. Yeah. Manraj?
Yeah. So whenever Jehan says this, trust the process, this is something which is really annoying to you when you really don't know where you're heading. But that is the process, actually, to get annoyed, question it, and then you actually get to know actually what is the process. What Lakshmi was saying, the same thing. Like, see, when you do any course, I did hotel management. To become, even I love cooking that point of time. To be a good chef, you will do a training. You know it, of course. We all know it. Some most of us are actors anyways. Like all of us actually. If you see in our daily life, we are acting. We have a different way to approach every character we have in our own lives, our friends, our family. We are acting to them. Like there is a particular you which is you only know when you look at yourself, that you don't show people. So this process is always there, but to make it more, like to define it, to be more clear, get more clarity, you need it. Like any profession would need a formal training, and this is what drama school tried to do. उन्होंने एक ऐसा ये बनाया, like what you say, फॉर्मेट वेयर कि हम लोग 5 महीने दे सकते थे जहां पर हम लोग ट्रेन हो, और नेक्स्ट 5-6 महीने हम वही प्ले को लेके जो हमने ट्रेनिंग ली है अपना ही प्ले बनाएंगे और जाके परफॉर्म करेंगे. इट्स अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस यू गेट कि हमने अपना प्ले बनाया, अपने ही सारे एक एक बैच बना इंग्लिश के लिए, एक बैच बना हिंदी के लिए. तो दैट प्रोसेस रियली हेल्प्स यू to understand every bit of it. And secret mantra I would not say, but it's what I learned personally. एक तो punctuality I learned very clearly from drama school. जो मैं punctual मैं अपने जॉब पे भी नहीं, I will, हाँ ठीक है जॉब पे चले जाते, but this taught me like किस जब आप काम कर रहे हो एंड जब आप एक ग्रुप के साथ हो, तो whenever you're performing, whether it's stage और या तो आप टीवी पे, मूवी पे, जहां पर भी जा रहे हो, वहां पर एक सेट है, वहां पर लोग आते हैं एंड यू आर ओनली पार्ट ऑफ इट एज एन एक्टर और यू आर अ फिल्म मेकर. बाकी लोग सारे आते हैं, जुड़ते हैं ताकि वो काम कर सके आपके साथ. तो आपका जितना टाइम इंपॉर्टेंट है, उनका भी टाइम उतना ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो दैट इज रियली इंपॉर्टेंट. वन थिंग आई लर्न कि पंचुअल होना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. यस, इफ यू आर समथिंग यू कैन नॉट टेक इट लाइटली दूसरों के टाइम. सो दिस फर्स्ट थिंग आई लर्न फ्रॉम ड्रामा स्कूल. एंड एक बात है, ड्रामा स्कूल ने ये बात सिखाई है कि ट्रस्ट द प्रोसेस. अपने लाइफ का भी प्रोसेस यू हैव टू लाइक ट्रस्ट इट. कि होता है ना कि जैसे आपने जैसे पूछा कि डिफिकल्ट होता है काम मिलना, दिस इज आल्सो प्रोसेस ऑफ एन एक्टर व्हिच यू हैव टू गो थ्रू. ये नहीं है कि आपको हमेशा काम मिल जाएगा, किसी को भी हमेशा काम नहीं, और कोई भी हमेशा बिना काम के नहीं रहता. सबके लिए काम, सब फॉर्मेट के लिए काम है, सब कैरेक्टर्स के लिए काम है. आपको पकड़ना पड़ेगा कि आप किसमें फिट होते हैं, आपकी स्ट्रेंथ्स क्या है. ये ड्रामा स्कूल आपको बताता है, आपको सिखाता है कि दिस इज योर स्ट्रेंथ, और जहां पर you are lacking, you can improve on it. That's also really important. So drama school gives you that space also, because it has not only one kind of acting format or filmmaking. They have different. So मेरा जब course था, there were different things. अभी I think by the 2nd, 7th, 10th batch में different चीजें आ गई जो शायद मेरे बैच में नहीं थी. So this is very good thing that वो लोग भी try कर रहे हैं to see, because as far as the generation is changing, our way of content viewing is changing. You have to do the methods of acting and performing also is changing. वो चीजें होनी चाहिए. And the drama school is doing exactly that. उस टाइम पे जब हमारा फर्स्ट बैच था, हमारे लिए चीजें कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट थी. कॉमेडिया बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था उस टाइम, बिकॉज वी वर डूइंग मास्क वर्क, व्हिच वाज रियली इंपॉर्टेंट, व्हिच वाज रियली न्यू, इट वाज फ्रेश फॉर अस. हमने कॉमेडिया के बारे में मैंने तो कभी सुना भी नहीं. This was the first time in drama school I learned about it, and I fell in love with the way Deepal and Karen used to handle this. And even Yuki, when she used to do body movement with her mask work, ये सारी चीजें नहीं थी हमारे लिए. And I think these small tools जो हमको मिले हैं, ये सारी चीजें हर एक्टिंग और हर फिल्म मेकर को अप्लाई करती हैं. मैं लोगों को बोलता हूँ, अगर आप एक्टर या फिल्म मेकर भी नहीं बनना चाहते, आप स्टक हो चुके हो एक लाइफ प्रोसेस में, जब जॉब में कोई भी काम पे, anyone who's married, unmarried, whoever is in college, passed out, you can come and do a course and give your time, because it will open you up in a different format. You don't have to look forward only कि मेरे को इसमें जाना. You can start becoming a writer, you can start writing books. आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो, बट वो माइंड ओपन करने में ड्रामा स्कूल हेल्प्स यू as a person to come, because you can give in so much and you will get so much back. So that's the idea. Yeah.
Okay. I will come to you, Krizan, for the same question, but right now Lakshmi has to leave, so I would like Lakshmi to give a piece of advice to all the applicants. Lakshmi, are you there?
Yes, Lakshmi, please
Hi.
tell them that your time is important. See, my time is not that I have to rush. This is what we all will become. Coming to drama school.
Hi. I'm unfortunately I can't open the video because I'm painting while I'm talking. But all I want to say is that first of all, of course this is rushed. So anyone who's listening, you guys can at any point of time message me personally as well on Instagram, and I'll surely reply with any of the questions that are there. And apart from that, in general, I would just say that to really understand something, you have to do it. So please don't hesitate to give at least a year or at least 2 years of your life to training if you really want to become an actor or a director or whatever. You need to at least give that time, because once you give that time, you'll really understand what it is. So that's with those last words. I'm really sorry again for just rushing out like this. But thank you so much for having me here. Thanks, Shruti, Manraj, Krisan. Hopefully, I'll see you guys
Great.
sometime.
All
Yes,
the
yes,
Thank you
we'll
so
best.
much.
meet on set one day.
Yes,
Okay, great.
absolutely.
For
Keep
sure.
performing, man.
Thank
Keep
you,
working. Keep
Lakshmi, for
working.
making
Keep
it.
working.
Thank
Cool.
you. Bye. All the
Cool. See
best.
you guys.
Bye.
Sweet, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so Suzanne, coming back to you.
Um, okay. So what did I take from DSM is what you want me to answer, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to speak about something different from what they both spoke about, because everybody has different journeys and you learn different things. So the first and very important thing for me, my biggest pillars were the friends that I made in DSM. They're all actors today. And it was the experience of working with other people who you don't know, and then going and stepping into an industry that is ruthless. You need to have people who will love you and will still give you a reality check. DSM gave me a reality check when I walked in, and when I went into the real world, also had a reality check. And in DSM, it sometimes may sound like feedback, and that is one of the most important things, which comes through the TMLs that we would do at the end of the day. And I guess any of the alumni would agree with me that TML is really important, not in the sense of itna important, like you don't have to like give attention to anything else and just to TML, but the learnings that you get from the feedback slaps that we've gotten are really, really important, because you learn how to create, you learn how much is too much, where you need to edit, you learn everything there. You learn how to create from scratch, and you learn how to look at yourself without having rose tinted glasses on. You really need to look at yourself. When I look at an audition, what is my standard that I'm comparing this to? What am I looking at? Am I looking at, oh, I want to be as I just want to look nice, or do I want to like keep my standard at Meryl Streep? So it's important to know yourself. Even like Manraj said, that you have to know who you are, what you look like, what areas of the industry do you fit in. Now, Lakshmi was in the opinion that there is a lot of work out there. Yes, there is a lot of work out there, but do I, as Krisan, fit in everything? No. No one is going to cast me as someone who comes from a place that I am not from. Like, I am a Bombay girl. I talk in English. My Hindi accent sucks. I can speak Hindi, but I can't go into accents and stuff like that. And I did explore all of that in DSM. But if I don't know who I am and what shows or where I would fit into the industry, I am fooling myself. So I think that reality check of who I am, what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, is very, very important. And I think DSM also gave us a lot of goodwill. DSM has a lot of goodwill in the industry. People know Jehan, people know the teachers who are teaching, and they are the best. They're the best we've got. And it's this nice mixture of, different learnings that is handed over to us, and you do what you have to do with what is given to you.
Yeah. So I would like to tell all the participants that at DSM we have this huge network of alumni and all the faculties, and this network is growing bigger and bigger every year, and new batches are added in this group. So, Krisan, would you tell us more? Like, how did those contacts and that network helped you to grow in your career?
So, I have some contact with the Bhatts, okay? They are in like some family member of mine, related to some family member. And I was like, so I can go and speak to them. Bullshit. It doesn't work like that. I can say that I'm coming from nowhere, because no one is here to be like, हाँ ठीक है, गोद ले लो इस इंसान को. ऐसा नहीं होता है. I remember when I first saw Made in Heaven on Amazon, I was just like, this is where I fit in. My blood was boiling that I had an audition for this show, because I know that I fit in a show like this. So I got to know who the casting person is, who the assistants are, Instagram, website, kuch bhi karke, I got my contacts like that. And it is not something that is built in a year or in a month. Manraj gave me a list of contacts, jaake unse baat karo. They may not call you for a year. So, it is a long journey. मेरा journey तो बहुत अभी short है, 5 years में, like there's not much that of a journey. I would say it takes time to establish networks, and this is it is a business of human relationships. Acting in itself is human relationships, human emotions. So without that, what are we? And I know because at some point I auditioned for something and someone didn't like it. Maybe at some other point I improved myself and a casting director then recognized me. So that's how it is.
Yeah, there is a question in the chat that like how the DSM learnings helped you to grow as an actor, like professional actor बनने के लिए ऐसा learnings में से ऐसा क्या है जो आपको help किया? Manraj, would you? You are on mute. Yeah.
I'm always on mute. Yeah. Okay. So, अब एज अ प्रोफेशनल एक्टर हेल्प कैसे करता है? बहुत चीजों से हेल्प करता है. लाइक डिपेंड्स कि आपको क्या चाहिए. कि आपको जैसे both of them said, Krizan and Lakshmi, that वो प्लेटर में बहुत सारी चीजें आती है कि आपको वॉइस, आपकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज, ये सब आपको देखना पड़ेगा. आर यू अ पर्सन कि मेरी आदत थी कि मैं बहुत झुक के चलता था. I had this habit. Drama school pointed that out to me. मैं मेरे गर्दन ऊपर होती थी मैं जब बात करता था. These are things which you don't know, but these are things which आपको पता चलने लगेगा कि ये चीजें हैं. ये चीज हिंड्रेंस होती है आपकी एक्टिंग. आप एक कैरेक्टर प्ले करते हो, मैं मनराज बन के कैरेक्टर नहीं प्ले कर सकता. हाँ, कुछ एलिमेंट आएंगे मेरे, बट मुझे और कुछ लेना पड़ेगा. तो मुझे कुछ चीजें शेड करनी पड़ेंगी. जो जिस तरीके से मैं बातें करता हूँ, मैं बहुत फास्ट बातें करता हूँ. कोई कैरेक्टर में मेरे को इट डजंट रिक्वायर, लाइक इट हैज टू बी स्पोकन स्लोली. सो ये चीजें ट्रेनिंग ड्रामा स्कूल से है. हाउ डू यू डू योर वॉइस ट्रेनिंग, हाउ डू यू डू योर लाइंस, हाउ डू. सो गीतांजलि मैम बहुत अच्छा ट्रेन करवाती थी फॉर मेथड एक्टिंग, एंड शी वाज रियली, मतलब आई कांट इवन टेल एनीथिंग अबाउट हर. शी इज फेनोमेनल. सो तो ये सब चीजें आपको पता लगेंगी कि हर चीजें में आप एंटर करोगे और आपको पता चलेगा ये मैं कर सकता हूँ, एंड ये चीजें मैं इंप्रूव कर सकता हूँ. तो आपको ऑटोमेटिकली एक बार आप जब करने लगते हो चीजें ना, ऑटोमेटिक आपकी बॉडी, आपके माइंड आपको बोलने लगता है कि ठीक है, ये चीज में मैं ऑलमोस्ट 80% आई एम देयर, बट कोई चीजों में मैं लैक करूँ, मेरा वॉइस ठीक नहीं, आई विल स्टार्ट इंप्रूविंग ऑन दैट. सो यू स्टार्ट पेइंग अटेंशन. तो ये सारी चीजें आपको एक होलनेस, आपकी बॉडी, माइंड, आपका वे ऑफ थिंकिंग, इट चेंजेस एवरीथिंग. ड्रामा स्कूल डज दैट. लाइक आई एम सेइंग any form of training, and drama school is the best right now is because the kind of format they have created, आपको कहीं नहीं अभी इंडिया में मिलेगा apart from NSD, जो you have to go for 3 years, and the kind of intensive application this thing is there. यहाँ पर you know for the fact you are first of all in Bombay, you are much more touch with the industry, you are right here, you can do your course, you can go for auditions. While doing the course, you can do your practical and learning at the same time. So it really helps you a lot. And contact wise it really, मेरे को खाली एक चीज मेरे को शेयर करनी थी, तो कृजान जो बोल रही थी कि यहाँ पर आपको you have to do your homework right. You have to go to production houses, you have to go and tell them that how interested you are at work, to work. You know, it's as she also mentioned, it's about people. They also have to see, why they have to invest time on you. आप हो कि नहीं, मैं घर पे बैठना है, मुझे किससे बात नहीं करनी है, आई एम वेरी सूडो अबाउट दिस, कि मैं नहीं, मुझे किसको नहीं मिलना है, लोग अगर मेरे को पसंद करें तो ऐसा नहीं होता है. उनके पास भी बहुत सारे लोग, you can't be running on their mind all the time. You have to go, you have to meet them, do networking, बोलो कि आप कितने इंटरेस्टेड हो. ये प्रोजेक्ट में नहीं तो कोई और प्रोजेक्ट में वो लोग साइन करेंगे. बट आपको अपना होमवर्क करना बहुत जरूरी है. यू कैन नॉट ब्लेम द इंडस्ट्री ऑल द टाइम, यू कैन नॉट ब्लेम पीपल, यू कैन नॉट. यहाँ पर बहुत जल्दी नेगेटिविटी फैलती है. कि नहीं अरे मैं घर पे बैठा हूँ, लेकिन घर पे आप क्यों बैठे हो? आप जाओ, पूछो लोगों से, शायद आपको 2 दिन का काम मिल जाएगा। आपको करना अगर पूरा मेरे को यही चाहिए, मेरे को यही बनना है, देन इट्स अ प्रॉब्लम। यू हैव टू बी ओपन कि मेरे को कोई भी काम मिलेगा, अगर it's something which I can do, you should be able to do it. And if your training is really perfect with drama school, you are the one कि आपने ट्रेनिंग अच्छी तरह की है, आपने फॉलो की है, you don't have to worry at all, because आपको काम मिलने ही वाला है, आपकी ट्रेनिंग कहीं नहीं जाने वाली है आपके हाथ से। ये जो जो आपको ट्रेन कर रहे हैं वो सारे इंडस्ट्री में, आपके सारे टीचर, सारे एक्टर्स, वो सारे काम ही कर रहे हैं। यू गेटिंग इट, सो योर नेटवर्किंग थिंग इज ऑलरेडी देयर, कि आप जिनसे पढ़ रहे हो वही आ रहे हैं, उनके साथ ही आप एक्टिंग भी कर रहे हो। इट्स अ मेजर लर्निंग कि अगर मैं अभी गीतांजलि मैम के साथ परफॉर्म करूंगा, इट वुड बी अ नेक्स्ट लेवल थिंग कि मैं उनसे पढ़ा हूं एंड आई एम इन द सेम फ्रेम एज हर, इट एंड इट इज पॉसिबल। इस इंडस्ट्री में इट इज पॉसिबल बिकॉज यू कैन कम टुगेदर फॉर अ प्रोजेक्ट। तो ये चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। और आई वुड से पीपल की कम विथ अ कंप्लीटली ओपन माइंड आप जब आते हो यहाँ पर, कि डोंट डोंट बी इन हरी। इवन कैजान वाज सेइंग डोंट बी इन हरी। 5-6 साल सबको लगते हैं उतने टाइम में आपको जानने के लिए, आपको पहचानने के लिए, एंड आपको खुद जानने के लिए कि मैं कहाँ, कितने मिस्टेक्स आप जब करते हो तो आपको पता चलता है कि हाँ मैंने ये ऑडिशन में ऐसा मिस्टेक किया। आप जितने ऑडिशन जाओगे, अपने जितने ऑडिशन, अब तो ऑडिशन ये हो गए घर से हो गए, पहले तो हम लोग जाते थे, लाइन लगाते थे, लाइन लगा के खड़े रहते थे हम लोग वहां पर, बारिश में भी खड़े तो कोई बोलता फिट नॉट फिट, फिट नॉट फिट, चेहरे देखते। यू हैव टू गो थ्रू दिस प्रोसेस, यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि ऐसा होता है, यू नो। तो ये चीजें हैं। या एनीथिंग एल्स यू हैव टू, एनीथिंग आई मिस्ड आउट, तो आप पूछ सकते हैं।
Hey, I
So
have a
आई थिंक
question
सॉर्ट ऑफ डन।
from both of you actually. Something that I
हाँ
really wanted to ask you, know
प्लीज
about
प्लीज।
your, what do you think about it? Because I am also a DSM alumni and I have seen when I was applying for the school, kya struggles the mere us time pe. And even all these people, like year on year, now that I'm working with the school as a program manager, I see that all these applicants who are coming in, they're coming in with a lot of questions. So एक question जो अक्सर मुझे सुनने को मिलता
बहुत।
है is that कि
हाँ
इंडस्ट्री में ना बहुत अनसर्टेनिटी है, राइट। तो उसलिए आपको थोड़ा सा प्रेशर भी होता है पेरेंट्स की तरफ से, ठीक है, कि करना है या नहीं करना है, कैसे आपका करियर बनेगा। एंड देन यू हैव टू अप्लाई फॉर ट्रेनिंग ऑल्सो, 1 साल का ट्रेनिंग, देन इसमें आपको पूरा आपको इतना टाइम इन्वेस्ट करना है, उसके बाद व्हाट इज द गारंटी दैट यू विल गेट वर्क आफ्टर दिस और नॉट। So how to deal with all those pressures and keep focused on the work that you want to do and keep yourself inspired is something that I really want to know, that how did you guys do that? I have my own journey. I'm sure that sabki alag alag stories hongi, so I want to hear your story. So Krizan, I want you to start first and then we'll move on to Manraj.
So, see, there is no guarantee in life about anything. Thoda,
इज द
if
गारंटी ऑफ
once you
लाइफ।
grow up and become 30, 40, na, there's no, you will learn that there's no guarantee about anything, and especially in our industry. Aisa hua hai ki I've heard actors have gone on set and they have been told that, hey, sorry, like we've got someone else. There is no guarantee. But what I would suggest is, and what I have done is that I was like, yaar, nahi ho raha hai, it's too hard and they're too brutal, ye wo. In fact, after I shot Sadak 2, I was like, I can't do this anymore and all of that. And I'm worth much more and I've trained and I didn't even say one word in that film and whatever, and I don't want to do this anymore. So I left and I went to another job, which was like a 9 to 5. And I never worked in a 9 to 5. As I told you, I just directly went from college to drama school. And I came running back to acting 4 months later, because I knew that that's where my heart is. Am I unhappy am I happier doing something else, or like will I regret later that I didn't try more and thinking कि नहीं यार उसका 2 साल में हो गया तो मेरा 2 साल में कैसे नहीं हुआ, ऐसा नहीं होता है. So that's what I'd suggest, that you then do something else that makes you happy, and if you still want to come back, then you have to come back. And another thing is that if I actually want to ask the people who can unmute themselves, or anybody in the chat, how many of you looked at my bio or heard my bio and thought कि यार ये क्या बकवास किया है उसने? I want to know कि ये shit, what rubbish quality, Sadak 2 was a bad movie or whatever. Just
Not
put your
really.
hand up. Because I thought so. And I have done all the work possible without knowing, with knowing, for different reasons just to get the experience of it. Sometimes it was shit because I was shit. Sometimes it was shit because the film was shit, or it wasn't long enough, or I'm just like flipping my hair or something. And that's the part that I got after training for 1 year, you know. And then I thought to myself, why am I doing this? But that's the thing, you have to go and do everything that comes. I was a choreographer on some set for some model who was my friend, like, you know, and I didn't want to be there. I wanted to be in front of the screen, but I did everything under the sun to make sure that I am making some kind of money to support myself or to support my dream. Someone's hand is up, I think.
Yeah, I think Shivam's hand is up, and then we'll move on to Manraj for the same answer. Shivam, you want to ask a question?
So Rizan's, just to add, अगर आपने सड़क तो कर ली तो फिर आपका एक नाम बन गया ना, आपका ब्रांड बन गया ना, दैट इन्होंने काम करा हुआ है, यू आर ऑलरेडी देयर इन द इंडस्ट्री, तो भाई यू आर वन स्टेप अहेड देन द अदर्स. दैट इज व्हाई प्रोबेबली यू डिड दैट. भाई वो पैसा तो मिला ही होगा ऑफ कोर्स, लेकिन आपका एक नाम भी हो गया ना, दैट यू कम एंड डन दिस वर्क. अदरवाइज आपके वो
पिक्चर देखी है?
भाई मैंने पिक्चर नहीं देखी, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता, लेकिन आपने काम तो किया हुआ है.
इसलिए आप ये बोल रहे हो, मैंने एक शब्द भी नहीं बोला उस फिल्म में. सो नाम मतलब मैं किसके लिए ये नाम बना रही हूँ? कौन है ये लोग जो देख रहे हैं? कौन है? कोई नहीं है, किसी को फर्क नहीं पड़ता. You know what I'm saying? काम, yes, work gives you more work, but that's not completely how it works. Otherwise, every actor who's done like a big break would be a star, but that's not how it is. You know, I just feel like what I really got from that film is that at some point I had to give some pieces of paper to Alia, and when I gave it to her, she dropped it because they were very slippery. So dropping me, he didn't shout cut, Bhatt Saab. So I was still picking up the thing, and he met me later on and he said, that's an actor right there in you, because you didn't stop when the director, you know, even though the scene couldn't continue, I improvised. And that for me was achievement, not doing that film, because I hold myself in high standards to the work that I do. So you have to go out and do everything. I thought 10 times, oh, should I do Sadak too? I kind of like weighed what will happen and whether it's in my understanding of what good cinema is, not whatever. And I think I got what I needed to get from that project, you know. And Sadak 2 might be a big name, but not necessarily everyone's chasing that. So I would just like to tell everybody, go out there, do everything, do anything and everything that you get. If you get a chance to be on set, because you can read and you can do everything, but unless you experience from set. I used to sit on the Thinkistan ka set and go and ask the DOP ki ye kya kar rahe ho, without irritating them during shoot. But you know, from whoever I could get ki ye camera aisa kyun lag raha hai, talk to more experienced actors, ask them their journeys. And in fact, an actor on the Thinkistan set told me he created a niche for himself. How do you get to that niche? By doing everything. It's only after many years of doing where you're like, okay, not this, okay, not this, not this. This is where I belong. So that's what I'd like to say.
Thank you, Krizan. That was a beautiful thought. Manraj, do you want to add something to what Krizan said?
Yeah, so I just wanted to add to Shubham. Like, Shubham, thing is, आप कोई भी काम करोगे ना, like सबको अच्छा ही है. अगर यशराज की मूवी मिल रही है, it's fun. Like अगर आप वहाँ पर मैन्युकिन भी खड़े होगे ना, सब लोग लेंगे. It's nothing wrong. As far as it's your choice whether you want to do it, and then as Krizan said, after doing it you realize कि मेरे को करना है कि नहीं. अगर बार-बार यही काम आ रहा है, तो आप नहीं करोगे. लेकिन आपको घर चलाना है, तो आप करोगे. It's very simple. ये आपकी personal choice होती है. As an actor, we cannot pinpoint anyone who's doing bad work. Pehle, I'll tell you one thing what Gitanjali ma'am told me the day I was giving drama school. I have asked her कि मैम मेरे को अगर रोडीज मिलेगा, मेरे को स्प्लिट्सविला करेगा, मेरे को नहीं करना है आफ्टर ड्रामा स्कूल. इतना करके मैं क्या रोडीज करूँ? She called me and said like, तू है कौन? I said नहीं, मनराज सिंह शर्मा. She like, है कौन? कोई जानता है कि है कौन इंडस्ट्री में? मनराज सिंह शर्मा. I said no. So like then who are you to decide तेरे को क्या मिलेगा? वो रेस्पेक्ट देकर तेरे को काम पे बुला रहे हैं. Just go to work. It's as simple, no? कोई आपको सेट पे बुला रहा है, आपको पैसे दे रहा है, आपको काम दे रहा है. एज फार एज आपको वो काम नहीं करना, पहले आप करो, उसके बाद डिसाइड करो. एक पोजीशन पे पहुंच जाओ, उसके बाद तुम डिसाइड करो ना कि मेरे को संजय लीला बंसाली के साथ नहीं करनी है, मेरे को करण जौहर के साथ काम करना है, या मेरे को अनुराग के साथ. दीज आर द चॉइसेस यू विल मेक योर मार्क. एंड उसके लिए यू हैव टू कीप डूइंग वर्क कि आपको क्या पसंद है क्या नहीं. ये आपको घर बैठे नहीं पता चलता, बिल्कुल नहीं। मैं जब ड्रामा स्कूल कर रहा था, मुझे एक एड मिला था उस टाइम, दैट वाज माय फर्स्ट एक्चुअली वर्क असाइनमेंट ड्यूरिंग ड्रामा स्कूल, टू प्ले अ फ्रेंड इन अ ज्वेलरी ब्रांड। जो एड शूट था वो था मड आइलैंड में। मैं रहता था कोलाबा में, स्कूल था चंडनी रोड में। मैं वहां से गया हूँ मड आइलैंड अपने एक्सपेंस से। मेरे को 1000 रुपए तो जाने आने में लग गए, उन्होंने मेरे को दिए थे 2000 रुपए, ठीक है, उस टाइम। एंड फॉर देयर आई हैव टू जस्ट स्टैंड नेक्स्ट टू द फ्रेंड एंड जस्ट स्माइल, डू नथिंग। वो फ्रेम में मैं दिखा भी नहीं होगा, पर ठीक है, मेरे को 2000 मिले, मेरे को एक एक्सपीरियंस मिला, आई मेट पीपल, थ्रू दैट आई गॉट वन मोर एड। यू नेवर नो कि आप वहां पर खड़े खड़े आपको दिखाई भी नहीं दोगे ना, तो मे बी नेक्स्ट एड में या नेक्स्ट मूवी में आपको चांस मिल जाएगा। गोइंग टू वर्क इज द थिंग, लाइक एज कृष्ण से वहां पर आप लोगों को मिलते हो, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। आपको क्या पता आप कौन पसंद आ जाए, लाइक आपके एक आपका टेम्परामेंट और एटीट्यूड रहता है जो शायद सबको पसंद ना आए, लेकिन शायद वहां पर कोई कास्टिंग वाले को पसंद आए, एडी को पसंद आ जाए, डायरेक्टर को पसंद आए, कोई एडी आपको जस्ट बिकॉज आप वहां पर हो, आपके बात करने का तरीका उसको अच्छा लगा, वो आपको रेफर कर देगा कोई और प्रोजेक्ट में कि मैं जानता हूँ इसको। थिंग्स आर रियली वाइड एंड ओपन यार, कोई भी किसी को काम दे सकता है। एंड तो ये चीजें करनी बहुत जरूरी है कि आपको, आई हैव लर्नड वन थिंग कि डोंट बी एरोगेंट अबाउट योर वर्क, और किसी और के काम को नीचा मत दिखाओ। दैट्स द फर्स्ट थिंग आई हैव लर्नड इन द इंडस्ट्री। यू कैन नॉट, everyone is struggling their own battle, everyone is fighting their own thing। किसी को कोई मजबूरी से कोई काम कर रहा है, कोई किसी चॉइस से कर रहा है, या किसी को मन है वो काम करने का, या वो उतना ही कर सकता है, कोई भी रीजन है। दे आर वर्किंग, लेट देम वर्क, लेट देम लिव। इफ यू डोंट लाइक देयर वर्क, डोंट वॉच इट, बट डोंट डिमीन इट। दैट्स द फर्स्ट थिंग आई टेल यू। आपको नहीं करना है कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन दूसरे लोग कर रहे हैं, आपको जो पसंद है आप वो कीजिए। यू विल ऑल्सो लर्न दैट कि तेरा टाइम्स नसरुद्दीन शाह सर ने कितने ऐसे काम किए जो उनको खुद नहीं पसंद है। आप देखो उनके इंटरव्यूज, बट वो करते हैं बिकॉज उनको पता है कि एक टाइम पे मेरे को 1 साल काम ही नहीं मिला तो मैं नहीं करती। सबके अपने चॉइस होते हैं। सो दैट्स समथिंग व्हिच आई थिंक ड्रामा स्कूल आल्सो विल टीच यू। करते वक्त जब मैं भी ड्रामा स्कूल में था, मैं पार्ट टाइम जॉब कर रहा था। मैं 6 to 5 इन द मॉर्निंग मैं ड्रामा स्कूल करता था, 5 to 9 आई टू डू माय पार्ट टाइम जॉब एट ट्राइडेंट होटल, क्योंकि मेरा घर वहां पर था एंड दे यूज्ड टू टेक केयर ऑफ माय रेंट। दिस इज हाउ यू स्ट्रगल एंड हसल हियर। अभी आप आ रहे हो यहाँ पर, यू हैव अ फीलिंग दैट मैं यहाँ पर कुछ करने, आप यू आस्क मी दिस क्वेश्चन राइट, लाइक व्हाट इज द स्ट्रगल लाइक व्हेन यू कम हियर, दैट यू नो लोग बोलते हैं, पेरेंट्स पूछते हैं कि प्रेशर। यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि अगर ये चॉइस आपका है तो वो प्रेशर भी आपका ही है। नाउ यू कैन नॉट एक्सेप्ट कि आप आग में कूदने वाले हो और गर्मी नहीं लगी, नहीं मुझे तो लाइक आई वांट कंफर्ट ऑफ एवरीथिंग, ये नहीं चाहिए, ये इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल। आपको मिल गया कंफर्ट, दैट्स ग्रेट, दैट्स योर जर्नी, दैट्स योर लक, दैट्स योर वे ऑफ लुकिंग टुवर्ड्स लाइफ, दैट्स फाइन। अगर नहीं मिलता, यू कैन नॉट बी लाइक अब यू नो घर पे प्रेशर में कुछ जाना। अगर घर पे प्रेशर, देन यू हैव टू चूज वन थिंग। आपको घर जाना है या तो उनको कन्विंस करना है, या अपने आप को यू हैव टू बी स्ट्रांग इनफ टू बी लाइक नहीं बॉम्बे है, मैं कर सकता हूँ तो मैं करूंगा। आई नो देयर आर टाइम्स की स्ट्रगल, आपको 1-2 साल शायद आपको काम ना मिले, यू हैव टू आस्क रेंट फ्रॉम योर पेरेंट्स एंड एवरीथिंग, ये कॉमन फैक्टर है। इफ योर पेरेंट्स believe in you and they respect your decision, they will still do it. You don't have to feel bad about it. If you're feeling bad about it and they are feeling bad about it, then don't do it. क्यों अपने आप को इतना ये करके, why, how can you enjoy a process when you are feeling so bad and your parents are feeling bad about it? You cannot make everyone happy. If you are a good actor, I'm sure your parents will be convinced, and if you are a good performer, they will be convinced, because you are a good performer, you'll perform it well to convince them. That's your job.
I wanted to ask
Do
one
it.
question.
Sure.
That do you recommend giving auditions while we are training?
Yes, of course. Why not? If you're getting auditions, please give as number of auditions you can.
But then,
No,
in
sorry,
case
I'll
of
interrupt this.
timeline-
During the training, you cannot because you are training at that time at the school. So during that 1 year training, sorry, Manraj, I had to interrupt. But
Sure.
1 year training is here, like so that you can completely focus on the work. So there are people who have taken a break, like Adarsh. He was already doing some advertisements, and he had done a film, I guess, before he joined DSM. So he consciously decided to take a break for an year. Give that time.
That's not what happened, guys. I would like to
Something.
say, okay,
Yeah.
so Adarsh was in my batch, okay.
Yeah.
He had, and I asked him, I said, oh, they're so serious about like not bunking class. How the hell do you get
Yeah,
a break? And he had told them before the course that the only way I will join this course is that when shoot comes, and because he had to dub for Rook, and he would only do those days, and it's only because he had already shot the film, and it was a matter of money and a lot of things that he was actually allowed to do it. But no one, let me tell you, I had a surgery during the year of DSM. I had a knee surgery. I couldn't walk for 6 months. I still finished the course. So auditioning during the process, I just feel like you can audition to train yourself, but you're not going to have the time. One, and I think in
Exactly.
Manraj's batch, it worked differently. In the later batches, we didn't have time to breathe, and we were not allowed also to do anything. And it's best to just learn, and then when you get out, you can go audition for things, because then you're going to be stuck between the two. Acha, kaam mil gaya, so why should I do this? But I think if you're making the choice to learn, then you stick with that, complete the course, and then you go out heads on.
Right. No,
See,
that's what
again,
the thing is. Yeah.
So the thing is, I
Sorry.
wanted to add here. See, when you audition is something you can learn from the audition. You can see
Yes.
if you are called for the audition. I'm saying you have to make a choice because you are committed to drama school first, then the
Actually,
ad.
the thing
You
is,
should be able to leave it. Have the courage
Hmm.
to leave a process. Like
Yes,
while
yes, yes.
this is the first thing. When you as an actor, also when you start working, you will get a project. You will get a better project than what you're working at. But that is the whole ethics, that whether you will leave this project to get that, grab another project, it's on you. So now you have given so much time to drama school, you cannot bunk and leave it because you got an act. If you really want to have the thing, monetary issue is the thing, then you can do job later. You can do anything after the thing. DSM allows you to do that. That's up to you. But don't try to hamper the process of DSM because you are doing something. That is your personal choice. That is not theirs. You have given it all there. Once you are trained enough, you can give auditions just to, as she also said, to improve your thing, whether you are good at it. When you go into the industry, get your networking out. It's better to have your networks already ready. But yeah, completely focus on your training, because what happens is, I have also realized in 2 months when you start training, you feel that I'm already done enough.
Yeah.
मेरे को सब आता है. मैं तो
Yeah.
किसी को कोई एक्टर को आज 70 साल भी होता है, उसको सब नहीं आता है. They are still learning. Like Amitabh Bachchan ji also still learning on set with other co-actors कि आज मैं
Yes,
ऐसा करूँगा,
yes, yes.
because the other co-actor is someone. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows everything. So it's better that you put your all time here, so that you're not, again, I would honestly say during my drama school, when I come, I had no phone. Like I didn't have a phone with me. Like I had no number, no contact. People couldn't contact me. I
Like
was
you
off
said,
social
you were
media.
doing some job also to support yourself. So were you able to
Yes,
like
yes.
concentrate? Because after the classes, you need to, I think, do some homework and stuff,
Yes,
for the
because this is
next day.
exactly, yes, you have to, because you have to
Yeah.
push yourself, because that's my choice. अगर मेरे को बॉम्बे में सर्वाइव करना है, and this is
Right.
what I want to do, I want to be an actor for sure, और मेरे को ये
Mhm.
करना ही है, then I will take the choice. 12 बजे तक काम भी करो, and then you get up in the morning and go. I cannot tell drama school कि मैं तो काम कर रहा हूँ ना, तो how can I come? That's their, my
Right.
choice again. Neither I can tell at work that I'm doing drama school, so I will not work. Again, they
Yeah.
don't care. Nobody should care. I care about both the things. I have to handle both, and I have to keep them happy, both, and myself happy as well at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's required. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shruti, I have a question. Could I put it up? I'll just be quick.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So I had a question that, for the alumni who have completed the course. So, are there tools that you learn that you like? Because since it's a year, the course is for a year, so you learn so many things about voice, about body, and about character, each and everything. So after the course is done, do you have something that you do routinely, or do you work and you apply it and that's how it goes? This is one. And second question is, I'll just put it quickly again. You said that whatever work comes your way, you have to take it. I understand that. But, there's also one, concept, one thinking in mind that your debut, your first impression is the last impression. Like whatever you put out in the beginning, that is how people will look at you. I'm not saying it's just a matter of negative character or positive character, but then in any way, the first work that you put out, big work, उस हिसाब का ही काम आपको दिया जाएगा. या is there something like this that you have come across कि अच्छा तुमने ये किया था इसलिए we cannot put forth?
ये मैं second part of the question में answer कर देता हूँ, then Krizan will take the first part. नवाजुद्दीन सिद्दीकी ने पहला रोल किया था as a waiter in Shruti. I don't think so उसको किसी ने जज किया, और आज वो कहाँ पर कर रहे काम. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. हम लोग को तो पता भी नहीं था उसने काम किया वैसे, because it will be a hit and miss. आप सोच रहे हो कि पता नहीं लोग देखेंगे आपके डबिंग. No one cares. No one cares कि अगर you are not for taking forward in the story anywhere, no one cares. If you are taking something forward, even if you are not nice, people might judge the movie, do anything. ट्रस्ट मी, इफ योर वर्क इज गुड, आप ऐसे एक्टर हो कि आप गंदा काम भी अच्छी तरह कर सकते, लाइक जो बोलते हैं लोग, बट इट्स नॉट, एवरी वर्क इज वर्क। आपको कोई जज नहीं करने वाला कि आपने क्या किया था पहले, उल्टा एक्चुअली लोग बोलते हैं कि डूड इसने ये भी किया है और ये भी कर चुका है, दिस इज इनसेन, दैट्स द रेंज यू हैव एज एन एक्टर एंड यू शुड ऑलवेज बी प्राउड ऑफ इट।
Lovely.
Yeah, okay, there is one question in the chat by Savleen. So she has asked, what are the challenges that one might face during the training phase?
Prabhuti, I think there's still one more question and then we can answer this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what?
I
He had one more question.
Can you just repeat the question?
So you completed 1 year of course and you learned so many things like skills, like about body, about voice, and so on and so forth. So
Right, the
once you
routine.
are done, you have a routine, which like some things that you practice in your daily routine, or is it that you get work and you apply it and so on and so forth? You don't need to, practice things also.
So for me personally, it constantly changes in like how, in accordance to how my life is working. But I make sure that I definitely get a workout done, because that keeps your mind healthy, your craft healthy, any movement related work healthy. And I think when you go to DSM, you will see that from the routines that they have, you can pick and choose and be like, हाँ मैं ये करूँगा या मैं ये करूँगी, because I know that my Hindi is not great, so I do A-R-E-E before I do my audition. That's my routine, because that makes my lips and my mouth more acclimatized to a Hindi script. And if I have an English script, I don't do that. I may do voice modulation or something else. So I think it depends, but it is only when you know your tools so well, you'll be like, today I want to do this or today I want to do that. That's what is important. And for my auditions, I do have a routine. So I think what happens is when we go to drama school and in our heads, we think it bahar nikalte hi bhai debut ho jayega. But mostly you get like these really small parts where you can't even break down the script. Like there's not enough to do. There's not enough character work to do. So, and especially even today, I get auditions that are 1 page long. So I actually use...
और सारी training उसी line में डाल दो, सारी training उसी line में डाल दो.
Like I use my breakdown of the script that I learned in Jehan's class actually, and it's Uta Hagen's 6 questions or so, which I use to break down a script. So that is definitely a routine that I use. And I have actually asked my fellow DSM friends that, like, what do they do? And a lot of us are on the same page with that. We ask the who, why, when, what questions, the same kind of things to break down a script and, take it to its best possibility.
Thank you, guys.
Just to add on to this, I'm just going to tell you, you said about debut. I debuted with Alt Balaji on a Balaji platform, Romel and Jugal, where I played a homosexual character. I was really shit scared, like the way you think. That's the reason it broke out of me. I was like, I'm going to play a gay character. I don't know, people are going to judge me like that, or people are going to just cast me like that. See, this exactly, it's just a notion. It's completely, I'm telling you honestly, it's nothing. I just called my mom and said, I'm going to play this. She was like really honestly telling, listen, play it truthfully. Don't insult them. That's it. That's all it is. That's all. When she said, I played it, it came out, really, it opened my whole thing towards this, the whole community and the way they approached it. No one judged you for anything because you're an actor. It doesn't really matter. Like you can play any part, like I'm saying, even the goriest negative part you will play, that's your debut. People are not going to judge you on just because they'll be more impressed the fact that you actually made them hate you, and the kind of personality you are, they will be really happy to see you like that. So just go for it. Like don't stop yourself from doing anything. Like aisa mila to bole haan main karke dikhaunga. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Manraj. And Kristen as well.
Just a quick heads up, it's 6 o'clock, and if anyone has last questions, we'll just take the last question. I think there was one question
talking
from...
Yeah. We should do it more.
I really like, but मेरा मन नहीं कर रहा है the session को खत्म करने. When alumni come together and start sharing their stories, cancel कर दो. I'm so happy. Okay.
Let's take the last few questions so that,
Right.
Prabhuti was saying something actually.
Yeah, actually there was a question in the chat that what was the obstacle or what is the problem with training time पे, में ट्रेनिंग के टाइम पे आपने obstacles
यार पहले तो सबको सब अपने आप को म्यूट
Unmute.
कर दो क्योंकि बहुत डिस्टरबेंस आ रहा है.
Please, yes.
Manraj, do you want to go first?
You go first.
Okay, so are you asking me about during the training or after?
during the training.
During the training.
Yeah.
I think for me and for many people who are in the batch, the challenge was that it was very physical. So people who are not, being a dancer also, I had multiple injuries, but it is about overcoming them, and that you have an entire army of faculty that are going to guide you through this, you know, whether it is your movement, your injury, ye wo. And it's like saying ki theek hai mera haath injured hai, but maybe my character has an injured hand, you know. So the challenges can be overcome if you look at it like that. And I was very broken during the course because of I had a great confidence drop because of the reality check that I got. So I was not able to enjoy a lot of the sessions, and I wish that, you know, when I went back I didn't think so much. I jumped into improv and I jumped and I did whatever. Like, this is where you make mistakes. If you're someone that doesn't want to make mistakes, this is where you break that, you know. So that is another challenge. And I feel like, with first of all, write everything down. I have written everything. My full batch is chasing me ki Xerox do, because even when you write what your challenges are, I know 2 years now, when I look back, I'm like, okay, I have overcome that, or I have not overcome that. And this is what I will work on. And another thing is that during the course, a lot of people felt that, you know, that there wasn't enough time to do everything. And it is about just putting your hands in and getting as much as you can get from this course, and then seeing what works for you when you go out in the industry. But you have everything to your use. So really, like, jumping into it is something that is very important. And sort your food out and all those things. You're not thinking about those things. You're not thinking about khana kab hai aur kahan se khana le aana hai. Sort those things out. People have numbers of, like, whatever, of
Yes.
delivery guys and all of that. Just sort it out and be present there in the course.
Okay, thank you for your. Amanraj, you would address this question?
No, I think she addressed most of it. What I want to see. If I have to add, I will add. If there is any other question, you let me know, which is a different question, so that they can.
Actually, I would still like to add that there are a lot of sessions we think that are not important. Like, for instance, you know, if you're doing something in the later schedule, which is like studying about other arts or writing. But trust me, that was my guide to survival in this real world, because I wrote my bio. I'm the only person who wrote my own bio because I actually listened to that class, and that's what I send everywhere, and that's what I sent to DSM also. You know, so those classes actually give you an insight to the world. You can't be like actor. Nahi yaar, puri duniya hai. Acting, you act everything, right? You act from the world. Acting is life. So it's important to give importance to all the classes you think are not important as well.
Okay. Brijnesh has a question. Is he there, or we can take?
निकल गया वो.
Okay. You can go ahead with your question.
निकल गया वो. चल. Bye.
I'm keeping track of people. मुझे पता चल जाता है ऊपर से कर रहा है. So I've been applying at. I mean, I know Shruti since what 2 years now. 2-3 साल से तो जानता ही हूँ. और हर साल मैं आ जाता हूँ ये वाले सेशंस के लिए बात करने के लिए. Okay. I know प्रभूति also personally. तो मुझे ये लगता है मैं DSM का कोर्स कर दूंगा तो मेरे ना दिमाग में जैसे Krizan said that these things get into your head, okay, and you end up not enjoying things. And then guilt happens, and then you're like, oh, there is so much things to do, and you think that this is such a monumental task. I fear that. मुझे लगता है भाई, if I just jump into things, I will do much better, rather than going into training और मैं अपना दिमाग मारूंगा ना. So that is the only thing which I feel.
क्या हो जाएगा इससे अच्छा? तुम कुछ चीजें लर्न ही कर लोगे इससे और कुछ चीजें अनलर्न कर लोगे, ज्यादा से ज्यादा वही होगा जो तुम लाइफ में ऐसे भी सीखने
भाई
वाले
1 साल लग जाएगा यार।
एक साल तो ऐसे भी लगने वाला है, 1 साल से ज्यादा ही लगने वाला है। अभी तुम यू विल गो एंड अंडरस्टैंड द इंडस्ट्री, तुमको 50 साल लग जाएंगे इफ यू रियली वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड देम।
बस तो फिर अगले जन्म में कर लेंगे, अगले जन्म में एक्टिंग।
अब क्या पता शायद पहले जन्म का बचा हो कि मेरे को एक्टिंग करनी थी, अभी फिर से कर रहे हो। यू नेवर नो, लाइक अब मे बी दैट्स द प्रोसेस, दैट्स व्हाट द थॉट केम टू यू दैट मेरे को करना है। अब जब थॉट आ ही चुका है, नाउ डोंट पैशनेट की करूंगा 1 साल लग जाएंगे 2 साल, ऐसे होता तो कोई एनएसडी 3 साल के लिए रखेगा भी? कोई क्यों करेगा? और एफटीआई क्यों
Pankaj
करेगा 2 साल
Tripathi
के लिए?
just made it big, yaar, and he's such a brilliant actor. You know, so you think either you do, there are different departments in the craft, right? One is the craft itself, the business, and if you don't invest in your craft, you're going to take those many more years investing in trying to understand the business. So it's ya to ye ya to wo. You decide whether you want it in a quick 1 year or you are going to take so many years to understand, अरे यार उसने audition crack कैसे किया, मुझसे क्यों नहीं हुआ, whatever it is. You know, a lot of people don't train and they go into it directly. I know a lot of people like that who are not from DSM and they are good at what they do as well. But I think everybody has different journeys, and if someone had to personally come to me and be like, oh, should I train or should I not? 100% train.
Definitely. Like आपने भी अभी किया होगा, आपने ग्रेजुएशन की होगी, राइट? लाइक यू हैव फिनिश्ड योर 12th, आपने कोई स्ट्रीम लिया होगा, कॉमर्स साइंस लेते हैं, राइट? वी चूज इट। क्यों चूज करते हैं? बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रीजन। लाइक आई नो कि हम देयर आर थिंग्स, स्कूल में सब कुछ नहीं पढ़ाई होती है, वी लर्न लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स फ्रॉम आउटसाइड, बट देयर इज अ प्रोसेस, देयर आर थिंग्स व्हाट यू लर्न आल्सो नो फ्रॉम स्कूल, देयर आर थिंग्स व्हिच यू गैदर फ्रॉम स्कूल, द होल टीम बिल्डिंग, यू नो, कहां सीखोगे आप? स्पोर्ट्स करोगे देन यू ऑटोमेटिकली लर्न, राइट? आप घर पे बैठ के अगर वीडियो गेम पे खेलोगे, यू हैव टू गो आउट, यू हैव टू enroll into something, you have to be part of a process, you have to understand people, as she also said, you have to work with people, right? uske liye for me the whole thing was when I came to drama school, हम लोग बहुत अर्चना सारे we were in different जगह से हम लोग आए थे, कोई जॉब कर रहा था ऑलरेडी, कोई she was a mother already, हम लोग different एज ग्रुप के लोग इंटरेक्ट कर रहे थे, we are opening up to things, automatically you will learn. और जो जेहान बोलता है ना, ट्रस्ट द प्रोसेस, आई विल से ट्रस्ट द प्रोसेस एंड एंजॉय इट, डोंट बी सो दिस थिंग अबाउट इट, ट्रस्ट इट एंड एंजॉय द प्रोसेस।
सही बोल दिया आपने भाई, किल कर दिया, ट्रस्ट द प्रोसेस, खत्म।
And also Shivam, like if you look at Adarsh, okay, let's take Adarsh, everybody knows who Adarsh is, right? If he can do rope, can do My Name is Khan and Okhado so much and then be like, oh, I should still train, कुछ तो मतलब है ना उसमें, क्योंकि just by being on set, you do get to know, but when you want to really go into proper character work, it's not just business, it's craft and business put together. You know, so if you really wanted to go into the craft of creating a character, like he told me for White Tiger, he used the stuff that we would learn in DSM, and it was such a great experience to actually hear him physically use it. And DSM also does that, like we go for character work down the road and all of that, so just getting that experience is really important. You cannot get it from books or just a workshop करके शायद थोड़ा कुछ मिल जाएगा, but the intensive, like drowning into that and just being there is what is important.
I know this is of definitely this is of value and I'm interested, तो मैं बात तो करूंगा, बस वो है 1 साल लगाना है, एंड देन अगर मैं उल्टी सीधी जगह घुस गया या फिर मेरे माइंड में घुस गई ये बातें, तो मुझे नहीं पता।
कुछ नहीं, देख कोविड ने 2 साल तो ऐसे ही ले लिए, तो वो भी होता है, डोंट वरी मैन, जैसे ही चले जाते साल, जस्ट गिव इट, पता भी नहीं चलेगा साल कैसे चला गया।
कोविड के बीच में तो ट्रेनिंग चालू करी थी मैंने।
गुड, नहीं गुड, इट्स अ गुड प्रोसेस।
Thank you guys, thank you.
Okay guys, we are already over time, so thank you so much Krizan and Manraj for joining.
मुझे भी तो बोल दो
thank you.
बोल दे यार, थैंक यू।
There's one more question, Chalu, let's answer this. What is this?
Roshan Mathur. Okay. I'd request Shruti and people at DSM to keep such a session again, because we would have more questions and we would get to know more about DSM and also about workings
of course we are conducting open houses every week, so Cherry and General course advisors, I think you're already in touch with them, they will inform you about the open house. come ask any questions that you have about application, filling up the application form, financial aid, or any like about the training program. On we are doing another webinar on the 17th where we have the DSM academic team sharing all the insights from the DSM curriculum. So they will be here, Jihan will be here, Ira will be there, Tushar Matthew will be there, who's an alumni from Manraj's batch, but and also is a faculty at DSM right now. So he will be there. Amba Suhasini Jala, she will be there. So they will answer all your questions related to the curriculum. And otherwise, my team and I are available to answer your questions about financial aid. And there's another open house on the 11th, tomorrow. Yeah, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. So come and join those sessions. Okay, you will get an information from my team. You will get a WhatsApp message from my team. Okay. Thank you, Manraj. Thank you, Krizan. This was a wonderful conversation. Honestly, I loved it. And I will soon plan an alumni jam कि हम सारे लोग एक साथ थोड़ा jam करें and talk about all these stories and all क्योंकि बड़ा मजा आता है when we all get together and share about our journeys and all. And I know ये वाला conversation बहुत दिनों से pipeline में था because I was thinking कि मनराज को भी बुलाना है, Krizan को भी बुलाना है and बहुत सारे और लोग अभी alumni हैं मेरी pipeline है जिनको मैं one by one सबको बुलाती जाऊंगी and we'll talk about their experiences and their journey. And thank you so much for making time. Honestly, this was great. And thank you, Prabhuti, for moderating the session wonderfully today. And thanks all of you who are there in the room, who some of you have already left. So thank you for joining the session. If you have any questions, please reach out to my course advisors. They will answer all those queries for you. Or I'm here in the room for another 5-7 minutes. अगर किसी को और कुछ पूछना है, so yes, you can ask those questions as well.
And also if anybody has questions to both of us, then just send it over to them and we can answer it for you.
Definitely.
And please talk to alumni who've done the course if you have specific questions. I did that with Chirag, and honestly, I knew that I had to do the course. So please reach out to people. They're always ready to help.
Yeah, and if it's really personal, then you can really approach. You can take the numbers personally. If there is something, please approach. And there's something you don't want to share on this platform, and something really personally, just ask. If it's the doubt can be clear, then it's great for you as well. Please.
Yeah.
Thank you, people.
This was so much fun. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, Krisan.